Welcome to the Good Morning from the Chicken Coop podcast with Kim Johnson, your creative strategist and master mindset coach. Filled with inspiration, distinctions, perspectives, and possibilities, we help you to cultivate a mindset that leads you to create the best version of yourself you could ever imagine. Join Kim every morning from one of her favorite happy places, her chicken coop, along with all her chickens.
Hey everybody, good morning from the very noisy chicken coop this morning. Apparently we're having a big argument in there over space of where to lay an egg. Because, they get fixated on what they want, just like human beings, and they don't let it go. And then they do that until you get out of their way. Very funny behavior. But anyway, today we are talking about watching your luggage. And what do I mean by watching your luggage? Okay, we all know when we go on a trip, we have to remember that we've got to go up against that scale at the airport. We've got to get there, we've got to put our stuff into the luggage and make sure it does not weigh more than the allotted amount, or we have to pay exorbitant fees to put our luggage on there. And we'll also say you got to remember what you're taking with you. Take what you need most, and you go through and you pack, and sometimes you repack. If you're like me, you pack, you see what you have, you repack, you pack, you repack. You want to make sure that you have exactly what you need. You're not taking anything extra with you. You've got everything that you're going to absolutely need in case you can't get it when you get there. And then you've got to make sure you're not taking too much with you because of the weight. So what is this metaphor that I'm using for you? Well, think about this when it comes to thoughts and your past. Boy, if we did this process with everything that we carry around with us all the time, how would that shift us? How would that make us be different people? Because if we had to sit and say, well, is this something I'm really going to need to take with me? Is this something that I should keep referencing again? And is this something that I should keep going back to? Or am I really going to need this moving forward in my world? Or is this just something that was a ridiculous thought and I had it at one point in time and I don't need it anymore? And you started using the watch your luggage metaphor for everything that you carry around with you all day, every day, like our list of anxieties or frustrations or offenses to things that have happened in our past. Wow, that could change everything. And I love, love, love using this with people because I think that it helps simplify the process, and everything about what I do with my clients is always about simplifying the process. How can I make this as simple as possible so that they can get it and use it quickly? And for me, if you start to think about that luggage, it is such a quick way to shift and change. Such a quick way to shift and change, because you'll say, well, is this something I want to pack and take with me? Do I want to take this with me? And then you can always reference it back again and say, well, didn't I make the decision not to take this with me? Great. Why am I talking about it? Why is this here? Why am I bringing it up? Because it's not something that I chose to pack and take with me. So, point being, there is nothing more important than these choices that you make on a daily basis. Nothing. And if you start recognizing how much you reference back to the luggage, how much you reference back to the stuff that you don't want, how much you reference back to it, even though you don't want it, you will be astonished at how much it affects you. And just like double checking, triple checking, and going through the luggage repeatedly when we're getting ready to go on a trip, it matters. I remember when I had the absolute luck, love, and pleasure of going to backpack in Thailand, many years ago. My husband and I got married there, and he had backpacked before, and I had never backpacked. I traveled with big luggage as much as I could. I took everything I could with me. And he is somebody who's a minimalist, Do you really need that? Well, we can do laundry. Do you really think that this is necessary? And when he told me we were going to be, doing this in backpacks because it's easy to get on and off flights, it's easy to get everywhere, I was like, oh no, my certainty girl kicked in and panic happened. And I was like, there is no way, especially when I realized we were doing this for 3 weeks, especially when I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm going to actually do this. And I don't have the certainty of knowing where I will be, if there will be laundry, if I will have facilities. I mean, Obviously, there are laundries over there. Why am I thinking I'm not going to be able to find something? Because that's how our brains work, and we freak out about stuff. So it took an absolute monumental effort in my mind to be able to stop that process from going on in my head and say, yes, I can pack in a backpack. But I can't begin to tell you how many times I had to repack that backpack. I had to look at it. I had to scrutinize it. I had to go and honestly, if I'm telling the God's honest truth, I cried. I stood there and said, I can't do it with this number of things. I need to have more. I'm going to need 2 backpacks. He's like, you can't have 2 backpacks. It's not called backpacking to carry multiple backpacks. It's 1 backpack. And plus I had a camera bag. So I had no choice. I had to figure it out. And the more I did it, the better it got. The more I looked at it, I had it all spread out on the floor. The more I examined it, the more I said, do I really need you? Is this something that I'm really going to need? And when I kept going back and re-examining, I was able to do it. And you know what? Not only did I survive the trip, I say it like that because it was one of the most glorious trips of my life. Not only did I survive it, I thrived. I loved everything about it. And I didn't have a quarter of what I would have taken if I was left to my own accord. So, point being, when you do this with your emotions, when you do this with the past and all the things that have happened in the past, and you say, I'm not taking you with me, I'm done, I'm putting that aside, glorious things happen. So I'm going to challenge you to do that. Watch your luggage. Start thinking about it. And don't think about it once. Really think about it. Really, really think about it. Pour into it. Because I promise you, you will see grand results when you do this. Just, nope, I'm not taking this. Nope, I don't need this. And just put it aside. And when it shows up, get rid of it because it's not necessary. I hope you guys have an amazingly blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow.